Okay, so this video is for Chapter 10, the basics of argument, of building college reading skills. If you want to follow along in the book, it's page 391. All right, so this chapter in a nutshell, we're talking just about the basics of argument. A good thinker understands what it means to make a point, and a good thinker understands what it means to support a point. Now, this chapter is going to be talking specifically about arguments. So an argument means that you have an opinion and you're trying to support that opinion. However, it's really not that different from the chapter where we talk about finding the main idea and finding the support, okay, because you're basically using the same skills in. So here we have a picture here. Why dogs are superior to cats. They just are, and that's all there is to it. Short and to the point. So what's Snoopy's argument here? His argument is that dogs are superior to cats, right? What's his support? Well, he doesn't actually give any support. He just says that's all there is to it. So there's two jokes here. First, Snoopy's a dog, so naturally he believes that dogs are superior. The other joke is that his evidence is that they just are, and that's all there is just a lot of empty words. He doesn't really support his point. Okay, so to make a good argument and prove a point, you must offer real support. Okay, so as a reader, as a critical thinker, you're someone who wants to look at the argument and figure out what the point is and what the support is, and then you made a decision of whether the support is good or not, when we say solid or not. So let's take a look at this. Here's the point. Our meal in the new restaurant was unpleasant. Here, the support, our meal took 45 minutes to arrive. The chicken we ordered was tough, and the rice and vegetables were cold. The dessert choices were limited to stale cake and watery jello. So does this support the point? Yeah, we'd say these do support the point. They give a basis for understanding and agreeing with the point. Having heard these details, we wouldn't be eager to eat at that restaurant because of all of the problems, right? The experience was unpleasant. Okay, now here's the same point, but look at the support. We had to wait 15 minutes for the food to arrive. The chicken we ordered was too juicy and the vegetables were buttery. The dozen dessert choices did not include my favorite, carrot cake. Okay, we might say, well, maybe these are maybe these aren't reasons for questioning, for not liking the restaurant. Waiting 15 minutes is not really all that bad. A lot of people like juicy chicken and buttery vegetables, and a lot of people would welcome, all of that dessert choice, even if there wasn't carrot cake. So as we go through this, we want to consider a couple of things. The first thing is that we want to think about recognizing the point and the support. So we learned in chapters 3 and 4 that the point's the general idea and the support is the specific information that backs it up. Okay, so here's a group of statements. In the group of statements is made up of a point and 3 statements that logically support the point. And these are the same ones on page 394. So we have children argue and fight constantly. The mother looks as if she's scared to say anything. Our neighbors do not seem like a happy family. When I hear the father speak to the children, he's usually shouting. So which one of these is the point? Okay, well, statement A presents a specific fact about the neighbors, right? Statement B and D are also specific facts about the neighbors. So the most general statement is statement C, right? Expresses the point that they're not happy, and the rest of them support it. Okay, so therefore C is the point, and the other ones are the support. Okay? So moving on, this is on page 395, we need to be able to identify logical support. So once you identify a point and its support, you need to decide if the support really applies or is related to the point. So a critical thinker will ask, is the support logical and relevant? Okay, or is it beside the point? So is it logical and is it related? So if we take a look at this, read the point and the 3 items of support, then choose the item that proves logical support for the point. So out of this one. So the point is that the woman on the news was courageous. So A, she collected bags of canned and boxed food for months and then brought it to the Golden Door Soup Kitchen to be used for Thanksgiving. Thanks to her efforts, the soup kitchen was able to feed 500 more people this year than last year. That number includes over 100 children. She had at hand all the facts and figures to back up her statements, citing 3 different studies by experts in the field. She handled the reporter's questions with ease and confidence. When she saw the child being attacked, she went to his aid without a moment's hesitation. She ran up, shouting, "Let him go!" and then kicked the ferocious pit bull as hard as she could. When the dog released the child, she grabbed the boy and pushed him to safety, even as the dog turned on her. Well, we need to look at the point again. The woman on the news was courageous. So which one of these ones shows courage? All of them are positive, but which one shows courage? Right? If we look at the first one, this one just says that she was kind and generous, but it doesn't say anything about being courageous. The next one is just talking about her mastery of the subject and the skill, but again, it doesn't talk anything about courage. The last one does. The actions that she did to save the child shows that she had a lot of courage, so that one would be the one that supports it. So our next point here, if we move along to, this is on page 398, we'll take a look at these ones. We have a point and we want to choose the 3 statements that support that point. So the point here is English 102 was an extremely hard course, so it was very hard. The course included a research paper, 5 essays, 3 oral reports, and 2 major exams. The course was required for my major. The teacher called on students without warning and deducted points when they didn't know an answer. The teacher has been at the school for over 20 years. I had to do at least 3 hours of homework for every hour in class. So which 3 of these show that the class was extremely hard? Well, the first one certainly does, right? All of this work that needs to be done supports the point. So let's next one. The course was required for my major. Well, we don't even know what your major is, and it doesn't say anything about it being difficult, so this one doesn't support. The teacher called on students without warning and deducted points when they didn't know the answer. Certainly, right? If you have to be prepared for every class and you don't know if you're going to be called on and lose points, that is definitely difficult. The teacher had been at the school for over 20 years. That doesn't tell you anything about the course or whether or not it's difficult, right? Just the length of time doesn't mean that she's going to be more difficult. Okay, I had to do at least 3 hours of homework for every hour. Certainly that's a lot of work, and that supports the point. Okay, so those would be the 3 ones that would logically support it. All right, so moving on to the next point, determining a logical point. This is on page 401. So it's important to be able to look at supporting evidence and decide if a point is well supported by that evidence. The skill of making a reasonable judgment based upon the information presented is a significant part of critical thinking. All right, so we want to look at the 3 items of support below and then decide which of these points is logically supported by it. So before underground plumbing, city people dumped raw sewage out of their windows and into the street. In the days when city vehicles were horse-drawn, manure was piled high in the roadways. Before trash collection was available, pigs were set loose in city streets to eat garbage thrown there. So which one of these points is supported? Cities of the past were probably pleasant places to live? Probably not. Cities of the past were not all that different from today's cities. Cities of the past were troubled with crime. Cities of the past were very dirty. So if we go over these ones, they were pleasant places to live. It doesn't sound very pleasant. It talks about raw sewage, manure, pigs on the street, right? The second one also, they're not that different from cities today. Well, most of the cities that we live in don't have these kind of problems. the cities of the past were troubled with crime. Well, none of these points talk anything about crime. There's no mention of crime. Cities of the past were very dirty. Certainly all of these things are talking about how dirty it is. So that would be the point that is logically supported. All right. So what I recommend that you do is write down any questions you have. We'll go over some of these activities in class. All right. Take care. See you in class. Bye.